YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on my Week 11 Boom Guys. Week 11 Boom Guys. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I said what I said. This is cutting edge content. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With a super chat from Big Will himself. He says, what up, bro? Pick two. Chase Brown versus Pittsburgh, Kareem Hunt versus Denver, Jalen Warren versus Cincinnati, or Judkins versus Baltimore. Yes, Henderson is a must start tonight. Yes, he is. This is a great question, Big Will. This is why I'm here. This is a great question. This is tough. Like, I'm in the third quadrant, so I'm always telling everybody to always start your studs, and you should always start your studs. But in this situation, because you can't start these are all studs. They all are starters. So we have to watch the matchup. We have to play matchup. We in the third quadrant. I know a lot of you have 8-team, 10-team, 12-team leagues, and you have a lot of good players, and that's great. So we taking away Kareem Hunt going against Denver. No Kareem Hunt. And I'm gonna rule out Quinshawn, not because he's not gonna perform well. It's just Baltimore, to me, it's two forces meeting that gonna counteract each other. Quinshawn is a tough, hard-nosed runner between the tackles, but so is Baltimore is a tough, hard-nosed defense between the tackles. The way you beat Baltimore is to spread them out and and exploit the secondary. You don't exploit them by running the ball at them. So I don't want to play Quinshawn if I have to pick the best matchup with all these stars. I really like Chase Brown going against Pittsburgh, and I really like Jalen Warren. So those are the two guys that I think you should be playing. Both of these guys had great matchups. Chase Brown got great matchups because he's not going to have 8 men in the box that I showed y'all on the video a couple days ago, or the live, where it's going to be cover two or quarters ran against Jamar Chase, ran against T. Higgins. So that's going to open the box up for Chase Brown, pun intended. Jalen Warren, Cincinnati is giving it up behind the dumpster. That defensive line is not that great, so Jalen Warren should at least have one rushing touchdown. But in a vacuum, bro, I would never want to play Warren over Quinshawn. But in this situation, I would play Jalen Warren and Chase Brown. Those are the two guys that I would play this week for the matchup. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Appreciate the super chat. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Let's get the likes up, fellas. I don't like this background. I'm going to choose a different one. It's kind of the same thing, ain't it? Is it the same thing? Yeah. All of them are kind of the same thing. Okay, I'm just going to keep the same one. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Big Will. Anytime, bro. Nino, what's up? What's going on with you guys? All right, guys, let me get through the content and make sure you spam the comment section. I'm going to get to everybody's question. If you want me to get to your question immediately, you have to super chat. So I appreciate everybody being here. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Let's get the likes up. Okay, so this is Boom Players of the Week. And what I mean by boom players, this is your studs. I'm going to the stud of the studders. I'm not going to always go to Jamar Chase. I'm not going to always go to Drake May. I'm not going to always go to Lamar. I'm not going to always go to Brock Bowers. I'm going to go to guys who I think can boom, even though they might be on an elite tier. So you might play a certain guy over another guy just because you think he has a great matchup and he could go for 3 touchdowns. That's what we're trying to do in this video. We're trying to find what players are going to go for those 30-point, 40 points instead of the 15 points, right? That's the difference. Okay, so the first quarterback that I want to talk about for boom player for week 11 is going to be Dak Prescott. Yes, Dak Prescott. And guys, the reason why I like Dak Prescott is, first of all, he's playing a behind the dumpster team. He's playing Las Vegas Raiders. They giving it up behind the dumpster. Now, listen, they had a great week last week, but to me, they wasn't playing CeeDee Lamb. They wasn't playing George Pickens. They wasn't playing Dak Prescott. This is an elite offense. They had one down game. Other than that, they've been putting up big points against all defenses. The Eagles, they put up big points against. even when CeeDee Lamb was out. So I think Dak Prescott, when he's playing against the Las Vegas Raiders, you have to feel good about playing him and play him, because he's going to be passing the ball all around the yard to CeeDee Lamb, to Ferguson, to George Pickens. So Dak Prescott is my quarterback boom player of the week. Going to my running back boom player of the week is going to be Woody Marks, going against the Tampa Bay. The Titans. I couldn't read my own writing. Going against the Titans, guys. And the Titans is giving it up behind the dumpster. They are the weakest defense in the league. Even on the offensive side, they're weak. So that only helps the offense. You're going to get a lot of possessions and a lot of opportunity. So let's play Woody Marks and feel good about it. So if you choose between Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, I like Woody Marks over those guys. Except for the top five, like Jonathan Taylor's not playing this week, but Saquon Barkley, no, I'm not going to start him over Saquon Barkley. But that next tier of running backs, like Rashad White, those type of guys, I'm playing Woody Marks over those guys. So Woody Marks should have a boom play of the week, guys. This is a different quadrant. He's beat out Nick Chubb. So now we can start going with our rookies. And I've been telling y'all the whole season, when is the quadrant when they start playing these rookies, when they start trusting in new players to try to implement a different strategy to go into the playoffs? It's going to be young players. It's going to be young wide receivers, young tight ends, young running backs, young defensive players, and even some young quarterbacks will get opportunities, because we're in the third and fourth quadrant. They are no longer rookies. They are veterans now. They've been in practice for 60% of the year, so they should know all the little small things that coaches expect out of them. All right, let's move on to my wide receiver play of the week, and it's going to be A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, new brother in town. A.J. Brown. Yes, guys, A.J. Brown. And I know a lot of you think it's disgusting over there, but guess what? I'm a rehabilitation type guy. And I'm still dealing with myself, working on myself, where, you can't rehabilitate every single thing that come in front of you. Dogs from the dog pound, women that come from the streets, friends who's been in trouble a lot. Sometimes you can't rehabilitate people. But when it comes to fantasy, I will rehabilitate you. So I see guys just like A.J. Brown. Y'all don't want him? You ready to give him up? I'll take him. So I love A.J. Brown. And guess what? This is the main. It ain't just because A.J. Brown is complaining and I want to pick him because it's his game. He's going to get more targets this game because he's complaining. Nobody's checking A.J. Brown when they need to go to him. They just got him. He's like a weapon or a gun that you got in your pocket. You don't have to use it. If you use it, we're gonna fix this problem, but we don't have to. We just need to let people know we got them, and that's gonna let people know that you need respect. And that's what A.J. Brown is being. But guess what? I think against a tough matchup like the Detroit Lions, they're not gonna let you run the ball with Saquon every time. Jared Goff is not going to turn the ball over 2 or 3 times and let you get easy points. You're going to have to push the ball downfield to Devontae Smith, which you've been doing, but also you're going to have to use that horse out there like A.J. Brown that you're paying $30 million a year to. So that's why I'm going to A.J. Brown. It's a tough matchup. And tough matchups, you got to bring your weapon with you. You can't just get cute and say, listen, look what I got. I got A.J. Brown. But we don't need him because we got Saquon. No, you're going to need this guy. So I love A.J. Brown this week. Play him if you have him. If you can trade for him, you go trade for him. Okay. Let's move on to my tight end boom play of the week. It's going to be George Kittle. Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is playing this week, and Brock Purdy loves George Kittle. Pun intended. It's nothing weird going on over there. He loves George Kittle. He's always hyper-targeting George Kittle. I expect George Kittle to get 2 touchdowns. It's George Kittle. Juwan Jennings is healthy. Ricky Pearsall, he might be able to play, he might not. It doesn't matter. George Kittle's still going to be George Kittle. So play George Kittle if you have him. And we all should know that, but I think he's going to boom. He could be the number 1 or number 2 tight end. Going against the Arizona Cardinals, too. All right, let's go to my flex boom play of the week. And guess what? I got a bonus guy. So thank y'all guys for tuning in. I got a bonus guy for y'all this week. I got an extra guy. So the first guy I'm going to talk about is going to be Zay Flowers, going against the Cleveland Browns. And you might say, well, why Zay Flowers? He hasn't done nothing all week. Let me get my water, guys. Give me a second. George Kittle, guys. I mean, not George Kittle, but Zay Flowers. is when Baltimore has a tough game and they are not going to be able to run it and just be up by two or three touchdowns on you, then Zay is the game script that they use, right? That's the difference. So if it's an easy game and they're going to blow them out, Derrick Henry's going to eat. If it's a tough game, Derrick Henry could eat because he's Derrick Henry, but most likely it's going to be more targets for Zay Flowers because we have to score. So if they play in Kansas City, I love Zay Flowers. If they play in Detroit Lions, I love Zay Flowers. Anytime they have a tough matchup, I love Zay Flowers because they're going to have to, now you got to play real football. You can't just run around with Lamar and be up by 14 points and call the dogs off in the fourth quarter. Now you have to play a whole game and win this game for the last drive. And Zay usually going to have 10 targets with about 80 yards and a TD. So I'm playing Zay Flowers this week. And he's a must start for me every single week. But is he going to be a boom play? Is he going to be the number one wide receiver every single week? No. But this could be this week because they have a tough matchup. Going against, and you might say, well, Cleveland's not a tough matchup. Well, this is a divisional game, and Cleveland is a sneaky defense. You may think some of their numbers are bad, but they got some dogs out there. Myles Garrett, we know that. Mason Graham, the young rookie, we know that, right? Then you got the linebacker Swearinger, the young rookie linebacker who's playing out of his mind. You got Denzel Ward. You got good safeties. This team can play. So Baltimore have to come out here. This is a trap game. This is a division game, guys. You know in football, and I'm giving you the gas. When this is divisional games, calm down about going with the top dog because these guys are getting paid and they're going to fight. So Cleveland's going to fight, and that lets me know that Zay Flowers has a chance to go out here and play the whole game and keep getting targets because they ain't going to need him. To me, that's how you attack Cleveland. They may stop the run, but you put Zay in the slot, and they ain't nobody guarding Zay. Ain't nobody guarding Isaiah Likely. All right, let's go on to my other flex play of the week, my bonus guy. It's going to be DK Metcalf going against the Cincinnati Bengals. And listen, this is a game where DK just need targets. And this is what I saw, too, to let me know that DK will be targeted this game. They asked him, hey, how do you feel about Aaron Rodgers missing you a lot? He missed you last game when you was wide open. He said it was my fault. It wasn't his fault. It was Aaron's fault. But that's what he needed to do to let Aaron know, I'm sticking with you. Keep throwing me the ball. I'm not going to blame you. That's growth from DK. Good job, DK. Now Aaron Rodgers is about to give you 10 targets. Aaron's about to reward you. Like, okay, he didn't go out here and take no shots at me. He's made mistakes. I made mistakes. But he owned it and took it on him. So I'm going to reward you with some targets. And also, it's the Cincinnati Bengals, and they're giving it up behind the dumpster. They are giving it up behind the dumpster. So I'm playing DK this week. All right. My DST boom of the week is going to be the Texans. That's easy. They're going against the Tennessee Titans. Everybody is lined up 30, 40 yards behind the dumpster, ready to play Tennessee. So if you see Tennessee on the schedule, you can pick up that defense. They're giving it up behind the dumpster. Everybody's getting some. So the Texans, I love the Texans this week. And my kicker boom, this is a new little spinoff. My kicker boom of the week is going to be Jake Elliott going against the Lions. Now I'm about to give y'all the sauce. See, y'all ain't gonna come back to my channel no more because you're gonna have what you need. You're gonna like, you know what? TD taught me how to play fantasy. He helped me become a better fantasy player. I don't really need him to watch him, and I'm okay with that. But I'm about to give y'all the gas, how I pick kickers, and I didn't really want to really get into that because I want y'all to be able to come back and keep, grocery shopping with me, right? But listen, let me tell you why you play certain kickers. Once the kicker is good, he don't miss a lot of wide open kicks, right? Then you go to tough games. Damn, I'm telling y'all the sauce. I want to be able to tell you a kicker and you leave me alone. You be like, oh, that kicker here, how did you know? I'm giving it to you now. I'm teaching you how to fish. I'm not going to give you the fish. I'm going to teach you how to fish right now. Jake Elliott going against the Detroit Lions. This is going to be a dog fight. They ain't giving up touchdowns every single time they get down there. It might be a 21-24 game, but it's going to be some field goals. There's going to be at least 2 field goals on each side or attempted field goals because these teams are not just going to give it up behind the dumpster and let you score every single time. So you're going to get down there by the 40-yard line, 30-yard line, and they're going to clamp down and you're going to have to kick the field goal. So go to 2 tough matchups, divisional matchups that usually happen. You got 2 good defenses. Go to the kickers. Because that team is usually good in the red zone. Go to red zone defense and see who the best red zone defensive teams. And then if that other team is a good offense, you go to that kicker. But don't just go to, okay, well, they good in the red zone and you just pick another team. Don't pick Tennessee Titans kicker because he ain't kicking shit because they ain't getting down there that much, right? So, but you go to teams that can move the ball, got good offenses, but that defense is really good in the red zone, then you go pick that kicker. That's the game script. That's a game script pick. So I'm going with Jake Elliott. I assume for him to kick 2 to 3 field goals because I don't think Detroit is going to let them score at will. Okay, so let's get to the questions. Appreciate everybody being here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big Will with the 100 symbol. First one in the building. We got Kiera 35 or 32. Kiro. I'm sorry if I'm killing your name, bruh. He said, yo, Gangy, what's up, bruh? He says, Henderson a must start tonight. Yes, he is. You start him. No Ramondre Stevenson. And once he ball out this game, it's over for Ramondre. It's going to be like a Rico Dowdle thing. You're gonna get daddled. And I think Henderson is going to daddle Ramondre. Just like they call it Willie Pipped. You got Willie Pip. Willie Pip, guys, if you don't know sports, that means that somebody you're a good player, you get hurt, and that dude come in and he start playing above and beyond, and he takes your position. That's what Willie Pip mean. That's what Dowdle mean, like for Rico Dowdle, what he did to Chuba. And that's what Henderson's about to do tonight. If he balls out tonight, it's over for Ramondre. If he has an okay game, then expect for New England to be New England. Expect for them to come in and alternate or sit Henderson down, do all that weird shit that they do in New England where they don't play no players other than the quarterback. But if he balls out tonight with 15, 20 points from fantasy, or he gets 2 touchdowns, break another long play, it's over for Ramondre. He might come in and get a couple goal line carries, maybe a touchdown, but he's not going to get the touches that Travion is going to get, because Travion is going to be getting honey touches, the golden touches, the touches that matter for fantasy, the touches that matter to score touchdowns, the manufactured targets. Nino says, yo, TD, which side you rather have rest of the season, Josh Allen, J-Mo, or Caleb and Rashid? Josh Allen and J-Mo over Caleb and Rashid Rice. It's the Allen effect. It's the Allen effect. They need to win. They behind, so they're going to be trying to score a lot. So I like Josh Allen when he's trying to score, not when they the top dog, because usually they call the dogs off and just give it to James Cook, which I'm cool with that because I got a lot of James Cook, but I want Josh Allen. I traded for Josh Allen in the league, and I want him to start scoring. So I like the Josh Allen because they done lost like, what, four or 5 games? They need to win, so Josh Allen is on call. Caleb is good, but we don't know. He's still learning. He's still in his second year. Next year, Caleb should be drafted probably as a top 12 quarterback. You probably might want to reach for him a little bit. But this year, he's going to be good going down the stretch. I told y'all that. But he still could have a bad game, and that's okay. But Josh Allen, I don't expect him to have any bad games down the stretch. He might throw a pick, but he still should be scoring 20 points or better every single week. So I'm going with Josh Allen. Joe said, who that is? That's DK. That's DK Metcalf. What's up, Troy? Travis Hawkins says, Tennessee Titans play Houston. Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, Nissan Stadium this Sunday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Houston should win that game. What up, Padre? What's up, bruh? And FD's, yes, I am. I am an African American. I appreciate you being here, bruh. Yes, sir. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. Thomas says, what up, TD? Is there a world where you play Hindi over Barkley? No, I don't do that. I'm not that expert. You got to go to somebody else. I can't do that. So, no, I'm playing Barkley automatically. But I get what you're saying, and I understand your science, and I don't think your science is wrong. I'm not telling anybody to do that because they're just really getting super cute. But I know you know fantasy. I know fantasy. I understand why you're doing it. But no, man, you have to play A.J. Brown. You got to play Saquon. You can never bench those guys the way I play. I'm just only going to give it to you from my point of view. Is that just silly? No, it's not silly, but it's not a good strategy to be optimal every single week. It may work for you this week, but it might not work for you later, and you might forget that you're doing that and keep doing it for years. And you won't never know. You need to learn and get spanked, and I mean that, no pun intended. I'm not sitting on stud. That's what I want to teach. But this could work out, man. It could be an amazing call. But if you keep doing that, you could get burned. It's like going around playing Russian roulette. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, you might do it for 5 years, and one day you might blow your head off. And I don't want that to happen to you in the championship week where you set CMC because Rico Dowdle was rushing for 250 yards a game. So you set CMC because he had been struggling for 2 weeks, and then CMC goes off and Rico has a dud. I don't want that to happen to you. So that's why I don't encourage people to sit guys of that caliber when they healthy. I mean, if he was hurt, Yeah, we would like, yeah, you can do that. He says Lions tough D versus Eagles. I agree with that. And Henry versus the Jets is spicy. You're right. But the only common denominator the decision that you're making, you sitting Saquon Barkley. Right? He should be above reproach as far as sitting a guy. You should never sit a guy in that caliber on a team that won the Super Bowl that's like top 3 in that conference in the NFC. Got a super chat from Don Padre. He says, great throw in with my kickers. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. With the kicker that I talked about. Yes, sir. Let me give me some more water. Okay. Appreciate the super chat, Don Padre. That's my homie, always super chatting. Travis Looney in the building. What's up, bruh? Matt Kamadi. What's up, man? Appreciate you being here, man. Subscribe to the channel. This is a great family. This is a great place to be for fantasy football and just for life stuff, man. This is what we do here at Fantasy Good Sports. Appreciate you being here. He says Superflex start 2 among Fields, Mills, Winston, and Young. 4-point passing touchdowns. We're going with Mills and Winston. We're going with Mills and Winston. Davis Mills and Jameis Winston. Leo, what's up, Leo? Appreciate you being here. Thomas says PPR, pick 2, Debo, Tez, Pitts, Luther Burton. I'm hearing a lot of buzz about Burton. Yes, of course you are. We know that. We've been hearing, but we don't got to wait for them to hear the buzz. We know that DJ Moore, when he's down, that Luther, where he was drafted, is going to be getting more targets, or he's going to be in the game plan. All right, so yeah, we know that. But between Debo, Tez, and Pitts, I'm going with Debo and Tez. Over Burton. I'm playing Debo over Burton, and I'm playing Tez over Burton. Tez has been balling out. He had 2 touchdowns last week. We can't sit him. No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, no Bucky. I'm still going with Tez. Debo, if you're gonna play with anybody, I mean, we can't go. I'm not gonna go with Luther Burton, even though he should get an uptick in targets from 2 to 5. I'm not gonna tell you to put him in, Luther Burton in over Debo. Pitts is out of it. So I'm going to go with Debo because he's the only wide receiver that can be trusted over there with all these guys out with injuries, with Terry, Luke McCaffrey. Debo's the only guy that I trust. So I'm going to say Debo, and then I'm going to go with Tez. Sports, what's up, bruh? He says, yo, what up? What's good with you? Louise says, great show. Thank you. Thomas says, peeps, hit that like button. Tap the 3 dots at the top right. Yes, sir. Thank you, Thomas. That's why I made you a moderator. Thank you. Guys, also moderators, can you post links? And I've been asking for that for a while. I need somebody to post links while I'm doing my lives. Because, so I got links in the description. All you got to do is highlight it, copy it, and just post it every now and then. Every 2 or 3 minutes, just post it in there. I'm watching, because if I don't start seeing people doing it, which you don't have to, then I'm not going to make you I'm not going to leave you as a moderator if you're not going to post the links. That's what moderators are for. They moderate the content as far as posting like little links or whatever I'm talking about, depending on where I'm at in the live. So I need y'all to do that. I appreciate that, guys. I hate Meta. He says, what do you feel about trading for defenses? I traded Swift and Rams for Texans defense. Ken Walker and Romeo Doubs. I don't like DST leagues. I like IDP. I got a whole league where I got 9 or 10 IDP spots, I believe. It's like 9. I'd rather pick the defensive player. I love football that much. I don't like the DSTs, but I play in them because that's what some of them big money leagues at. Some of my friends, they play in it. I'm not a big trader either. I know what trades, so I will take a trade. But I'm right here. This show is built off the preseason. I'm really, really great at defining talent before the season starts. So why would I trade guys that I believe in? And that's why I always look at y'all and I try to chastise them like, why you want to trade so much? I don't get it. If I told you to pick DK, and if you want, now listen, if you DK ain't helping your team, I get it. But I would love to show you my team. I had a consultation last night, and I was like, man, let me show you my team, because you talking about this team I think is a good team, and I'm telling you that I think it could be better. I don't think you should trade. Well, I'm just saying don't trade, but I want to show you why I don't trade. And this is the team. And I showed him, and it was almost the exact same team. And I said, but I'm being patient. I had J-Mo. I never dropped J-Mo. Started him almost every single week. DK, I'm keep starting him. Sometimes guys just don't do all the trading. So to go to your question, I hate meta. I'm just gonna looking at Swift. I know the Rams defense is good. So you traded Swift and Rams, which was two good players, for Texans defense, who's probably the #1 defense in the league, if you ask me. And you got Kenneth Walker and Romeo Dobbs. I'm not a big Kenneth Walker guy. I think he's just the guy that's gonna slow your team down. He caps your ceiling. He's not consistent enough to give you a ceiling to make him want to play. I'd rather have Jalen Warren than to have Kenneth Walker. At least I don't have to draft Jalen Warren that early. But I think you got the best defense. You gave up something to say you could get a better defense. That's what I see to win. So I'm going to give you a C+ because you got the best defense. And I'm grading hard. I'm not just going to give you no B+ or no A-. So I'm grading you hard. I'm going to say C+ because you got the defense. If that's what you wanted, you won. Darius says, what's good, bro? What's good, Darius? Sports says, what about A.J. Brown? Should I start him? Yes, you start A.J. Brown. That's what I said in the video. Go back and rewind the live. Yeah, A.J. Brown is a boom player of the week. He's a start. He's always a start. The way I play fantasy. Y'all play fantasy I'm trying to define a word the way a lot of you play fantasy. A lot of you play fantasy like mean people. And let me tell you, like, if somebody do something one time, you done with them. You ready to get them off your team. I'm not like that. And I don't want to sit here. This is not about life lessons, but I do know one thing. People thought I was a loser. I'm doing better than a lot of those people. You got to be patient. You had to be patient with me. If you wanted to hurry up and say, oh, you ain't rich, you ain't shit. Right? And that's what y'all do in fantasy. Oh, he had two targets, I'm done with him. Or you hear, oh, I heard they talking about somebody, and then you want to put them and start them over guys who's been solid for you, who's been on your team, fighting, trying to get the targets, and you ready to drop that guy. Okay. But yeah, I'm starting A.J. Brown all day. Louise says, Mark Andrews or Freiermuth for PPR. I'm going with Freiermuth, even though Mark Andrews got touchdown upside. I can't bet on a touchdown upside guy. I can't bet on 2 targets and one of them going to be a touchdown for you to play that tight end. That is too lucky. That is too good. I'm not that good. I'm not that lucky. I guess I'll say that. Freiermuth, I can depend on it. I know they need him. He's one of the best consistent hands guy. They got other small wide receivers that they ain't trusting. Aaron Rodgers needs to be better. Freiermuth had a big game a couple weeks ago by about 170 yards. I'm going to go with Freiermuth for the safe targets. But if you're looking for a touchdown upside and you don't need to rely on your tight end to go crazy, you're kind of just looking for something that you can trust a little bit, I guess you can trust Mark Andrews to get targets around the green zone. But I would go with Freiermuth for myself in full PPR. Kuma said, what's up, bro? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Darius says, what about the Rams or Seattle kicker? What about Seattle? What about the Rams? Let me see what you're talking about, Darius. What you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. What about the Rams or the Seattle kicker? The Rams defense is okay. They got a tough matchup. They're going against it's going to be a division rival. They're going to get Seattle. So, I see what you're saying now. You're talking about the way I choose kickers. Okay, my bad, bro. I hate to figure out, like, what do you mean? Yes. Cutting edge content right there. You know it. You found it. You knew it. There's 2 good teams. The Rams are good in the red zone. You killed it. You killed it, bro. That's why I'm teaching y'all how to fish. I don't just want to give you a fish. TZ, what's up, bro? With the 100 symbol. Aaron Robinson, he says Schultz or Freiermuth. I'm going to go with Schultz with Davis Mills there and playing against the Tennessee Titans who's giving it up behind the dumpster. I'm going to go with Schultz. I'm going to go with Schultz over Freiermuth. Thomas says, what's your thoughts on using underdog over and under on players to make your sit and start? There's nothing wrong with that. That's good. Listen, they are very smart. They got an algorithm. They not going. The algorithm doesn't be right every time. Just like I tell y'all about fantasy, they're gonna be more. They're gonna be right more than they're gonna be wrong. But they're gonna have some down weeks. So do you leave them? Do you not trust them no more when they tell you to play AJ Brown and he doesn't hit? No, because he tell you to play AJ Brown next week and he hits, and then he tell you to play AJ Brown. Then AJ Brown is a league winner. That's how this shit goes. It's an algorithm. The algorithm that I have that I process it through my mind, through myself watching it. I don't want to. I don't use numbers to back up everything. That's what scientists do. But guess why a lot of scientists has not succeeded into finding new technology. So I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of a history lesson real quick. Tesla, he didn't graduate from high school. He used the information that was in front of him that was easy stuff, like Occam Razor's type information for science, to find how to get free energy. He wasn't like, well, if I go to space and I go way out there in 500,000 miles, I might be able to get a little rock that can spark something. He didn't do that. He just said, no, listen, it's energy all around us. Every time somebody talk, every time somebody move, the way we think, it's energy out here. We can't see it. It's simple, right? So when it comes to the underdog situation, I'm trying to think how I'm relaying this. It's don't overthink it. Underdog is not gonna always be right, but I think that's a great tool. I look at the numbers, I look at the point spread according to if I want to play a DST sometimes. Like, well, let me see what the Vegas are talking about. So don't overthink it. But yes, underdog is a good way to use that, man. It's simple. That's what I wanted. I went around that whole bunch to say it's simple. And you're not gonna be perfect every single time. You ain't gotta find some type of secret algorithm to make your starts and sits be right. Thomas says, underdog, Vegas knows his stuff. Facts. At least, she says, hi, TD, standard marks of Henderson. We're going with Henderson. Even though it's standard, we're still going with Henderson. I already have Rico, Puka, Chase, and Ibuka. Yeah, so we're going with Henderson over Marks. I love Marks, but Henderson to me is on a different tier. Marks is just, I did have him as a boom player of the week, but that doesn't mean that he's going to boom over Jamar Chase. He's going to be the number one player. No, it's going to be other players that's probably going to finish over him, right? And I believe Henderson, I would not have Henderson on my bench. I cannot live with Henderson on my bench, but I could live with Marks on my bench because I got Henderson in front of him. That's the reason. And you got all these other elite players, so yeah, it's okay to leave Marks out. You can't get to him. Everybody can't get to everybody. Your team is too strong to try to put Marks in there. And a lot of you go through that. If I tell you Tyler Lockett, a lot of you will try to put Tyler Lockett over Ibuka. And I'm giving this example. Just because a guy is on a list doesn't mean that you sit another guy for that guy. But it's okay to ask that too, because sometimes it could be different situations. Tron says, I thought that was Antonio Brown at first. CJ Stroud ruled out. At least he targets Nico. Right. Davis Mills, he does. Eduardo, what's up, bruh? He says, what's up, TD? Nico, Brian Thomas Jr. I'm going with Nico. Darius says, dance with the girl you brought to the party. Come on now. I hate Meta says, big bruh, did you catch my last matches? I ended up losing reception. Yes, I did. You might put it back in the comments, bruh. I'll get to it. Intelligente says, nothing worse than when you sit a stud and he booms. That's a bad feeling. I agree. That's why we don't sit studs here. Eduardo says, one more. Are you good? Golf or Geno Smith? We're going with golf all day. I know it's a tough matchup, but it's golf. He's going to play good. Dan Campbell's calling plays. So I'm not going to go to Geno. Now, if it was Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Drake May, yeah, we could get off golf maybe for those three. But other than that, man, we're not switching out quarterbacks. A lot of you, man, are going through your players too thin. Like you want to, sometimes, guys, just, you got golf, go with golf. Like, I'm going to keep drilling that, and I'm going to keep talking that. I'm going to keep talking it, and I'm going to keep talking it. Like, I get it, but I think if you overanalyze it, it'll make me overanalyze it. It'll make me be like, well, and I'm like, and I just see it. I see that golf is there. Just play golf. Matt says, thanks, man. Subscribe anytime. B Growing says, Hurts or May. And see, this is a situation where I believe he's playing in the league. Sometimes you're going to have good players, and I have to understand that too. So I apologize if you just drafted really, really well and you're not going to drop a guy, so you have to play matchups with him. I understand that, and I'm going to try my best to understand that. But that's why I want to get into different leagues and kind of go through some of the things that y'all go through. But I never have stars and sits decisions. My homeboy right now, man, his team is like the #1 scoring team in the league. He don't have the wins, but his team is great. And he look at my team, he's like, bruh, one thing I'll tell you, man, your patience in fantasy is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I never dropped J-Mo. I never dropped J-Mo, guys. I never thought about dropping him. I do it for y'all because y'all, I don't want to, listen, sometimes I'm so cutting edge, it makes y'all disgusted with me. TD, you want me to play J-Mo? He gave me 3 zeros. All right, TD, I'm not asking this, but I support your channel, man. I hope, you know what I'm saying? A lot of, you don't believe in what I'm saying, but then now J-Mo is hitting. And you got to understand, what do you think I went through when I was telling people to play J-Mo and it wasn't going through? Now, I'm different. I established myself. Y'all don't chastise me about my picks like that. But there's a lot of people that will tune off for me and think I'm crazy, won't collab with me. And then it hit. Guess what they say? A clock is right twice a day. A clock is right twice a day. Oh, really? That's how you going to try to undertone my shit? Okay. But yeah, be growing. Sorry. Hurts or May? I'm going with May. He's the #1 quarterback. He's balling. He has a good matchup tonight. A lot of you worry about Thursday. I don't worry about none of that. Like, and I probably should be more like this in real life. A lot of stuff that do get to me about certain things, like sometimes a comment, somebody say something, I'm getting better with the comments, and I get on one. But in fantasy, I don't give a damn about no Thursday, no Tuesday, no January. I'm just going to play my players, and I don't give a damn what really happens because I make the best decision. Right now, guys, before the game starts, is mine. When I'm going through my life, that's when I'm like, okay, I got to be right. Once I said it, I'm done. I don't give a damn who scores out or scores who. That's too much. I'm going to drive myself crazy wondering why Travion Henderson didn't get an extra carry to beat the guy that I'm playing against, and I lost by half a point. I'm not going to do that. I got my studs. These are my guys, and I can revisit that and say I shouldn't have picked that guy. I shouldn't have took that guy. But if I start letting everything in here, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know if I drafted the right player. I don't know if I'm starting the right guys. I don't know what's going on because I'm just frivolous. So I'm going with May, man. He's the #1 quarterback. Hurts is a good player. I would rather you just kind of trade one of these guys because I think if you got a strong team, you'll be able to make a start and it won't affect you. But I think we're not going to always make the right call just because of the matchup. And I want you to know that way you make your own decision and you go down with the ship. But I'm going to say May. If you say it hurts, there's nothing wrong with that. King Sirius says, with Khalil Shakir, thank you, Big Will. I see that. Thank you for posting the consultation, bro. Yes, sir. Thank you. And you posted it right, too. You didn't put the website in there. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Bro, I'm gonna try to do something to show some love to you as for Christmas and stuff. I'm gonna try to think of ways to do some giveaways. I'm not gonna be able to do the giveaway that I did last year, but I'm gonna do something to give some stuff away, man. Because I appreciate when people appreciate me and show respect towards me, man. I want to show that back, man. But King Sirius says, with Khalil Shakir and Dalton Kincaid at risk of missing this week, Coleman should be Josh Allen's top target in his high-scoring game. And, brother, did you watch my video yesterday? King Sirius? Did you watch the video? Keon Coleman was my start of the week, bro. He was my start of the week. I agree. I agree with you 100%, man. Yes, Keon Coleman. Even if they ain't out, I still think it's time for him to get the ball. You need to get him the ball in order for this offense to keep taking the next step because y'all lost 3 games out of 5. So you got to change something up. So I think it's going to be Keon Coleman. He's the weapon out there that can be used and can perform. The other guys are they doing what they do. That Fantasy Network says keep grinding. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm always grinding. Just because I don't put out a video don't mean I'm not grinding. That's what you got to think outside of the box. And I know that ain't what you mean, but bro, I took that compliment. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. But I just want people to know, don't say, TD, just because I do 5 videos in a row that I'm grinding. You don't know what how I'm doing. To start a YouTube and have a full-time job, you don't know what that was. That could be bigger than some of the biggest Mr. Beasts. I'm out here right now. I'm building a platform that nobody's really doing right now, right? So I'm having to work and do that. So I want y'all to always know that I'm always grinding, even if I'm not doing. I'm always spending money on this shit, right? And I don't want to say shit, but this is, what I mean is I'm always got stuff going behind the background that I got to do. To studying, I got to look at this game. I got to do a lot of stuff. So this shit is not easy, but I love it. I'm in my passion. I'm in my lane. I love it. Elisa says standard Baker or Dak. Dak all day. Elisa, Dak all day. And I get it. Baker's good. Baker can put up 3 touchdowns, but I think Dak has a better matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders. Debo says DK Metcalf is trash. No, he's not trash. So let me say this, Debo. And I had to learn this. And this is the reason. And I don't want you to hold yourself to this accountability, but I'm going to show you something, bruh. I don't call another man trash that I can't beat up. Now listen, I'm a monster, but I'm a 38-year-old monster. I'm not young anymore, so I don't want no smoke. But back in my day, I'm not saying I can beat up Mike Tyson. I ain't saying I got no hands, but I was very, very strong. I'm gonna be some good guy. But what I'm trying to say, I don't want to call nobody trash that's done what he's done. I really take that type of words when it's negative stuff. I take it serious, so I'm overdoing it. So forgive me. I'm sorry, because that's the way I am. But he's not trash. But is he? Let's talk real football for a second. Is he Jamar Chase? Hell no. He ain't Jamar Chase. He ain't Justin Jefferson. He ain't AJ Brown. But I'm gonna tell you something. His superpower. Because if you watch, I love anime. I love Marvel. I don't even know the difference between Marvel and the other DC and stuff like that, but I love superheroes. I'm a big-time superhero guy. And if you go and watch a lot of the movies and the spinoff shows, it's not always Superman and Wonder Woman and Green Lantern who's saving everybody. It can be a guy, he can just turn into gumbo, right? Or he can turn into liquid. They might need him. So what I'm saying, DK got a special thing. Man, when he catch the ball, tackle him. You might rather tackle Derrick Henry than tackle DK. DK is a monster, but he's not a great receiver of the ball. So when he don't have other wide receivers around him to help his weakness, it stands out. But he's not garbage because he's actually one of the best blockers in the NFL. I'm talking about tight ends, tackles, he's a monster when it comes to blocking. His physical presence helps dominate another team where it'd be like, okay, we try to set the tone. He can help set the tone. But if you think he's going to be Justin Jefferson and routing people up like Devontae Adams, he's low on that bar. But he can still get off and have 1,400 yards by his superpower. Get me the ball, I'm gonna stiff on people, I'm gonna run you over, and I'm gonna take off running, I'm fast. That's what he does, and that's why I like him, because I compartmentalize my team. I know that J-Mo wasn't gonna be Amon-Ra and get 10 targets a game. I know that Drake May is not Pat Mahomes, and they're not going to run around and let him do that. But he ended up hitting. I gave him the space for him to be what he's going to be. You got to give DK a chance to be what he's going to be on your lineup. I've seen DK boom on people benches his whole career because people don't like that he's inconsistent, and he's always going to be inconsistent. But I like inconsistent wide receivers. Or sometimes it could be at the running back position because I like to get some boom guys and I take a risk and I cuff them with some safe guys like a CMC, a Khalil Shakir, guys that's going to be safe. I put other guys in my lineup, but I love a boom guy who can go for 40, 50 points. You're not going to see that by guys like a Devontae Adams. Devontae is not going to give you no 40 points at this point in time of his career, but DK can. So I went off on a tangent, but I just want y'all to understand that. King Sirius says, do you like Wilson with Marvin Harrison Jr. out? Yes, I do. He could put up a season high in targets. He could. It's favorable matchup. I agree. I'm willing to. I picked him up in a couple leagues and I got him in a couple dynasties, but I got good wide receivers, so I don't need to really get to Wilson. But yes, which I think is Michael Wilson. He's a good wide receiver to play while Marvin Harrison Jr. is out. Caleb Hammond says, what up, TD? We starting Drake May or Herbert this week. Appreciate all the cutting edge content. This is a wash. This is a tomato. Herbert is good. He's really, really good. I'm gonna say May. Why? Because that's my preference. But I want to always tell you, if you ask me, TD, you want barbecue chicken or you want fried chicken, then I'm gonna say, well, no, man, you pick because you got to eat it. Now, if it's you want a McDonald's burger or you want a salad, I'm gonna tell you the salad because that's way off. The salad is better for you. I'm gonna tell you that, but I'm not gonna tell you what flavor you should like. This is a flavor thing. This is what you like for yourself. So I like May. I like his running ability. I like the way they use him. He don't have a true alpha as a wide receiver, so that helps him. You need him more. But Herbert is passing the ball at an elite level. He got a lot of weapons. He got more weapons than anybody in the NFL right now. So that's what you got to pick what you like. Me, I like May, but if you like Herbert, that's fine. Voltron says Courtland Sutton has been disappointing. He continues to be out-targeted by Troy Franklin. And it's not about, let me tell you something. I'm putting you on game right here, Voltron. It's not about his getting out-target. He don't have no upside. That's why I like DK. And I'm going to tell y'all something right now. DK, when it comes to fantasy, I'm not talking about route running. I'm not talking about anything. When it comes to fantasy, I will pick DK I would pick DK way before I pick Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton, that's a big dude that's safe. And he might have a 26-point game. He ain't going to have no 40, 50 point. He ain't going to take no 80-yard touchdown to the house and then come back and take another 40-yard touchdown to the house because he's not fast like this. So y'all got to know what guys are. If you drafted Courtland Sutton, you drafted him for a safe target guy to give you 15, 16 points. You didn't draft him to be boom, to lead the team in targets and be great. He can be great for 2 weeks in a row, but he might not do it every week. I know what DK is. I'm never going to get mad if he gives me 8 points or if he gives me 5 points. Reason why I don't pick guys like Courtland Sutton, they not going to win nobody no league. They ain't going to go week 17 in the championship and go for 50. They can give you 15. If you think that's a league winner, then that's fine. So Courtland Sutton, man, do not draft Courtland Sutton. Don't draft Kenneth Walker. These are the trap guys that you got to go to because why? ADP told you to do it. You are a prisoner of ADP. And I'm trying to teach you how to think for yourself. I'm giving you the blue pill, the red pill, and I'm trying to get you to take the red pill so you can be like, no, I'm going to do what I need to do. This is my team. Now, I'm going to look at the fantasy content creators, and I'm going to use, I like what TD said. Well, I like what Fantasy Pro said. Well, I like what Fantasy Headliner said. And you use what if you need. But don't be sitting around and let somebody spoon-feed you Courtland Sutton in the 4th round because he's Courtland Sutton and he's finished with 245 points or something. Hell no. Courtland Sutton's, don't draft these type of trap guys. Alvin Kamara could turn into one of those guys. So I want to be fair. I told people to pick Alvin Kamara, but he did give me something last week. Let's see if he can finish as a good quadrant play for the 4th quadrant. Hopefully he does. If you don't, I'm going to have to go down with the ship. Thomas says, I didn't even know you made me a moderator. Yes, sir. Much appreciated. You be here all the time, bro. You support. So I'm going to make you a moderator. He said, I don't really be having time to know a lot about posting links, but I'm always here to support the show. You are, and that's fine. And I love that you addressed it. You good, bro. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Finish Network says, how you felt about A.J. Brown telling people to drop him in fantasy? How you felt about A.J. Brown telling people to drop him in fantasy? I don't think I never told nobody to drop A.J. Brown in fantasy. Tell me what you mean, Fantasy Network. It says, how you feel about A.J. Brown telling people to drop him in fantasy? No, I never told nobody to drop him. But let me know when I say that, because I'm pretty sure I've never said drop a player. Now, listen, this is what I always tell people. Everybody team is different and every question is different. So for another person, if they sit here and say, hey, I don't want A.J. Brown, I'm not going to tell them, you better take A.J. Brown, you stupid. That's how I talk. Like, I would normally say, hey, man, you going to drop A.J. Brown? Why? If I got him, But you have to give people what they are looking for. So if they want to trade A.J. Brown, or if they got this 8-team or 6-team league and they mad at A.J. Brown, then you go ahead and drop him then. That's on you. I'm not dropping him. That's why, and I say that all the time. I've been talking about A.J. Brown as a trade target. I've never told nobody to drop A.J. Brown unless that's what you were saying. Hey, TD, I need to do this and this. So who should I drop? You're not going to frame. This is what people do. This is why I got to chastise you. People make me answer their question and try to frame me on that for the rest of my life. That's why I do all this talking, because you're not going to frame me on no player that I'm not on or that I said a certain situation for. That's why I got my list of players that I'm on. I've never talked about dropping no A.J. Brown. I talked about not drafting him because I told y'all this is what he's going to go through. Go back and look at the videos of people that I'm not drafting. I said, do not draft no A.J. Brown because it's too many mouths to feed on that offense. But if I drafted him, it's a different, and people can't comprehend that. They want every player to be a mano y mano. Sometimes Tyler Lockett is a drop on this league and for that guy, but for me, he's a league winner. He's a league winner. It's different things for different folks. So I always kind of you got to fill out your team, and you got to have context. Jesse says, who run the North? Baltimore. Baltimore runs the North. Thomas says, I'm down to kick peeps out for unnecessary comments. No, we're not going to kick nobody out. As long as they ain't saying nothing too crazy, we're not going to kick them out. Jesse says, go Flock. Yes, sir. Flock Nation, is a good fantasy channel, man. I watch him all the time. I can't think of his name, but he's built the Flock Nation. Got a super chat in here. Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay, Fanny. My bad, bro. My bad. It's hard to read context here on the live. He said A.J. Brown told people to drop him, not you. I'm gonna tell you what that was real quick. I'm sorry, Elisa. I'm gonna get to your super chat, but I wanted to see this. I'm gonna tell you what that was, Fantasy. So, say we got a basketball game going on, and everybody's picking up everybody, and I believe that I'm one of the best players out here, maybe top 3, top 2, and I don't get picked, or I get picked last. So you come up to me the next day, you be like, "Hey, man, you want to go?" No, man, I suck. Don't pick me. You see what I'm saying? That's that rhetoric. That's that athletic talk. I do that shit. Oh, no, not me. Remember, you said I can't do this. You said I'm not good enough to have a YouTube channel. I don't talk clearly enough to have a YouTube channel. So I'm not talking. You being funny. That's what A.J. Brown is doing. He being funny. No, you don't pick me. I'm garbage. Don't pick me in fantasy. Y'all ain't gonna throw me the ball. I'm not no good. That's what he's doing. He's getting that shit out because he's angry. Lisa said, TD, I know this sounds stupid. Lamar or Dak, half PPR. No, it doesn't sound stupid because you're trying to play the best play. I get it. Dak got a great matchup, and Lamar has a tough matchup against Cleveland. I get it. So let me tell you what I'm going to do. I don't think you can go wrong here. I'm playing Lamar if I drafted Lamar, which the girl that I came to the party with, I'm loyal. Let me tell y'all something. If I come to the party with a woman that's 700 pounds, she's sitting in a wheelchair, she can't see, but she loyal to me, I'm dancing with the girl that I came to the party with. If I come to the party with J-Lo, I'm staying with J-Lo. So that a lot of people don't understand. But no, pick between the 500-pound girl, or J-Lo. No, I'm not doing that. Because I'm not gonna have two girls where I gotta pick from them. But whoever I said was my girlfriend, whoever I came to the party with, I don't give a damn what they look like, what they smell like, what other people are saying. I'm going down with that ship. And that has proven championships for me in fantasy. I'm not just talking, you know what, I just want to talk about something because I like doing this and this is, I'm going to put it. No, this shit it works for me because you see people, they struggle and then they end up being better. So you got to stay entrusted in order to catch the boom, or somebody else going to have your players and beat your ass. So I get what you're saying. I'm playing Lamar. So I think you should play the quarterback that you drafted first. That's something to give you something to reach for, something that can anchor this down. If not, you ain't gonna know why you playing the guy, because this right here is tough. We don't know who's gonna score more. This is Lamar, who can play good against Cleveland. He played good against Cleveland early in the season. You got Dak, who's been spinning the ball around the yard. I get it. So you want to be able to go play that with this great matchup, and Lamar got a tough matchup. But to me, the decision making, man, Elisa, you're gonna have to, if whoever you drafted, play him. Both of them has really great matchups. Normally, I would say Lamar, and it's easy, but he's playing against Cleveland. Cleveland's gonna play well. I'm not saying they're gonna win the game, but they're gonna play well. Thank you, Elisa. Thank you. Thank you. Bo in the house. Bo says, is Mills coming for sure? Nah, come on, Bo. Come on now. Nah. I get it, because this is the NFL, but nah. No way. CJ Job is great. He's good. TZ said, TD, you tripping. No, bro, I'm loyal. Come on, man. You don't see what I'm saying? I'm loyal. You know I'm not picking no 700-pound girl just to pick her. But listen, I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you something. Man, I ain't going to cuss. But I hang with people who love me. I don't give a damn what you look like, how much money you got. I don't, men, women, your sexual orientation, I don't care nothing about none of that. I judge you from your heart. So I judge my football players by their skill set. I don't care what you look like. I don't care when you was drafted. Now, if I drafted you, I don't care what other people are saying where you should be drafted. If I drafted you, then it matters. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I said a 500-pound girl, and I want to do that on purpose. I really mean that. I'm not just doing that just to make an example. I really mean that. If you, just like y'all, like if one of y'all been loyal to me, and one day you can't super chat or something, and you say, "Hey, TD, I need this." I'm not gonna. I'm like, no, man, I ain't worried about that, bro. You rocks with me. You rocks with me. But now I'll say no, Bo. I don't think nobody's gonna take his job. Bo says, don't play with that boy Mills now. Right. All right, let's see. Thomas says, I'm down to kick peeps. Okay, we did that one already. Jesse says, Steelers 0-6, last 6 playoff games. Yes, that's going on. I still think Mike Tomlin is a great coach. Thomas says, Garrett Wilson placed on IR. Yes, over the knee. Yep. Darius says, based off picking a kicker. Facts. Yes. And I love that, what you went to Seattle, bro. Voltron says, I had to learn that patience is key when playing fantasy. Come on, Voltron. A few people dropped Harvey because of out of the frustration and picked him up and stashed him. I'm telling you. Ethan says the Saints are the best and the Steelers. Hey, I love the passion, man. If you believe in your team, who can tell you something otherwise? Idle Hand says, y'all better bench the Garrett quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. I think he actually got a good matchup this week, so this might not be the week, but I get what you're saying. He didn't play well last week. Thomas says, I dropped Henny mid-season in my home league. No, Thomas, I'm about to chastise you because I love you. I'm about to get on your ass. You know better, bruh. You know better. You know fantasy. What you thought was going to happen? Now, listen, I thought you should have went down because especially if you got a good record, Thomas, you need to let me know what your record is. Now, if you had a bad record, no, I will take all this back. But if you had a good record, why would you drop Hendy? What do you... let me see. Let me finish reading it. I dropped Hendy mid-season in my home league, and I'm sick. I did hold Harvey, though. It's all good. My team is stacked. No, bro, that was a bad move. I don't understand why you dropped them. So this is what I'm going to say, Thomas. You correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm just going to use it as a relationship. You'll drop. So if a girl if you know she's beautiful, she rocks with you, but she's not cleaning up when you first meet her, are you willing to break up with her immediately because she didn't show you that? Like, I just want to know, why would you drop Hendy when we know he's talented and we know how you've been playing fantasy a long time and you know that players break out at the end of the season like rookies. We've seen it the last 10 years how rookies are. They struggle in the beginning. They don't get carries. And then about week 9, 10, 11, they start getting carries. I hate Meta says, let's talk IR. I've been stashing Jalen McMillan. Can he be a league winner? No, because Mike Evans is coming back. It's too late for that. Ibuka took his role. I don't think Jalen McMillan is coming back to anything. I think that's Ibuka. Godwin and Tez and Mike Evans has a role. I don't think Jalen ever see the field this year for having fantasy value. Thomas says, and I'm facing Hendy tonight. That's what you get. And I'm only saying this because I love you. That's what you get. That's what you get. Holy Inspiration says Sean Tucker appears to have overtaken Rashad Wright. There you go. I think he is for a breakout game. I agree. And I told people about Sean Tucker. He actually was on my stars of the week, I believe. Sean Tucker, I believe he was. Or did I tell people to pick him up off waivers? But yes, I agree with that. He's been matching his targets and with carries. Rashad White going to have a nice little catching role, but the carries and the touchdown upside is probably going to be Sean Tucker this week. I agree with you 100%. Let me see. Look at the super chats. I think I got to them. Okay. Yeah, I've done them all already. Okay. Croy says start Michael Wilson over Troy Franklin. MHJ is out. Yes. Yes. Play Michael Wilson over Troy Franklin. I like Troy Franklin. He's been playing well. But I think you can get cute. The tier that you saying, you can get cute there. You got Michael Wilson and Troy. You ain't saying Michael Wilson and T. Higgins, right? I love the tier. We can get cute there. I just want y'all to understand that sometimes. Sometimes you can go and pick a favorite guy or pick a different guy because you picking with just lower tier guys for the flex. So I like Michael Wilson with him being the possession catcher. Greg Dortch is not going to get 15 targets. It's got to be Michael Wilson with 7 to 10 targets. So I like him over Troy with the tough matchup against the best defense in the league, which is the Houston Texans. Number 9121 says Philadelphia Eagles fans are the best. Go Birds. Okay, I respect that. Everybody rep their team. You got to rep your team. Darius says start Chase Brown or Woody Marks. I'm going to go with Woody Marks. Hold on. I'm sorry about that. Hold on. I looked at something wrong. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I had something wrong. They not playing Troy Franklin. They not playing that. Sorry, guys. So let me go back to the Chase Brown and Woody. Okay. No, start Michael Wilson over Troy Franklin. I do like the Michael Wilson over Troy Franklin. Michael Wilson is a top 32 wide receiver this week with Marvin Harrison Jr. being out. Troy Franklin's been a little bit volatile. I do expect him to get some targets. That is the only wide receiver that I would want to play for the Denver Broncos. So he is a solid start, but I would go to Michael Wilson. But going back to the Chase Brown and Woody Marks, I'm going with Woody Marks going against Tennessee Titans, who's giving up behind the dumpster. The Steelers are not great, but they can still be decent. I like Chase Brown too, but I'm going with Woody Marks in this situation. It's only Chase Brown. We're going with Woody Marks in this situation. Mike says Mike Tomlin is the most overrated coach of all time. I disagree. He can motivate his team. He's a great motivator. Thomas is better stats when Naga, Corum, Tootin, Brian Robinson Jr. I'm going to go with Managa because DeAndre Swift can't stay healthy. So let's go with Managa. Kyron Rim stays healthy. Travis Etienne is the next guy. Because I do like Tootin, but I think Managa is a better stash than Tootin. Brian Robinson Jr., he's a good handcuff if you got CMC. But I would expect CMC to finish. We haven't seen CMC go down at this point in time. Once he makes it past the first 10 weeks, CMC has never missed a game, unless it was just off maintenance. So I would go with Managa, then Tootin. Holy Inspiration says Rodgers can't push the ball downfield, and the Bengals to the tight ends. Will it be Pat Fryermuth, Smith, or Washington that goes off? I think it would be Pat Fryermuth. I'm picking that. But Rodgers can throw the ball downfield. He don't have the same arm stuff that he had 10 years ago, but he still got one of the best arms in the league. Like, his arm is not weak at all. When you watch Dylan Gable, that's a weak arm. But I still think Aaron Rodgers can throw 60 yards, and that's all you need. What's up, Kevin Sully? Appreciate you being here. Two Void says, am I starting Cook or Rome? You start Cook all day. Number 9121 says, Big Bro, Philly is in the chat. What do you think about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl this year? Of course y'all can. Y'all team is built perfectly. You got Jalen Hurts, who's a winner. You got Saquon Barkley, you can give him 40 carries. He can win you that game. You can give him 10 catches. He can win the game that way. You got A.J. Brown, top 5 wide receiver. You got Devontae Smith, who's one of the best number 2 wide receivers. You got good offensive linemen like Dickerson. You got 2 defensive nose guards that are unbelievable. Ain't nobody running on them like that. You got good linebackers, Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean. You got Cooper DeJean. That team is ready. So, yes, man, you are a Super Bowl contender. And that's easy. Darius, he says, man, I know you're my age with the clock reference. Right. He says, bro, I hate Thursdays. Player always lay eggs. I don't see it that way, man. I get it. That is, listen, the data probably says that. I'm not going against the data. But, bro, I don't want to digest that data. Like, I can't, bro, I got to watch, I got to pick my player, and I'm going to go home, drink me a beer, and watch the game. Bro, it's Thursday. I'm not starting them. Like, I'm not doing, but you are right. Thursday games, because it's short weeks, they don't go as many points. They give you zeros. But I don't care. If I got Jamar Chase, he's starting. If I got DK Metcalf and he got a good matchup, he's starting. I'm starting my guys. I don't look at no days or none of that. The time, overseas, but I get it. It can be right. But to me, man, go to a millionaire and be like, hey, man, somebody cut me off in traffic. He said, I don't give a fuck about no. He gonna say, I don't care about nobody cutting me off in traffic, bro. I gotta make these money. That's how I see fantasy. I don't care about no Thursday. I gotta pick the right players. I gotta make a video in a couple of minutes, right? So that's how I see it. But I'm not saying you wrong. Darius, he said, I got May and Hendo going tonight. Me too, bro. Me too. Let's go. Sergio, what's up, bro? That's my homie. What's going on with you? He says, TD, what's up, big dog? Hendo or Judkins? I'm going with Hendo over Judkins. Barkley or Woody? We going with Barkley. Mahomes or Caleb? We going with Mahomes. We're going with Mahomes. Caleb got a good matchup, but we're going with Mahomes. But Judkins or Woody? That's the question of all that. That's the question. We're gonna go with Woody over Judkins. We're going to go with Woody over Judkins. That's tough. That's a tough call. I could be wrong. I have to go down with that, but I'm going with Woody over Judkins. Ed Shadow says, what's your top 5 running backs currently? Whew, that's tough, bro. I don't got no paperwork with me to give you that, but I guess I would go with my number 1 would be Jonathan Taylor. My number 2 would be CMC. My number 3 would be Jahmyr Gibbs. My number 4 would be James Cook. And my number 5 would probably be Rico Dowdle. But I don't know. I might pick somebody else. But off the top of the dome, pause. Those are my 5 guys. Appreciate you being here, It's Shallow. Thomas says, something random. I don't check my lineups until halftime of the games, as opposed to checking my matchups every 5 minutes like I used to. Drive myself. I'm checking it 5-6 times in a minute. I might not check it for another hour, then I might check it again. I check it on when my mind tells me to check it. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna go there. I don't got any what they call it, little quirks about how I can't think of the word. It's a brain freeze. But I don't got any thing that I'm worried about happening that's gonna mess up my luck. It doesn't matter to me. But I get that. We all got little things like that. Sergio says, May tonight or Lamar? Dance with the girl that you came to the party with. Who did you draft, Sergio? Who did you draft? That's the only way to make that call, because we're not going to sit here and try to break down Cleveland and break down New York Jets. May has the best matchup, but this is Lamar, and Lamar went off against Cleveland earlier in the season. Me, I'm playing May. I drafted May. May is my quarterback that I said as only 3 quarterbacks I was taking, Lamar, Josh, and May. So I put May on my 70% hit rate, so I love May. But that doesn't mean that he's going to outscore Lamar this week. So I just want you to know that. Me, I'm picking May. You like mayonnaise on your sandwich or you don't? You like mustard or mayonnaise? That's the same thing. I like mayonnaise on my sandwich. I don't want mustard. I like mustard on my hot dogs. Jeff Rogers says Troy Franklin or Tez Johnson. I'm going with Tez. Tez had 2 touchdowns. He's been playing good with Baker. He's the number 2 there. I'm going with Tez. They're going to double team Ibuka. Jumbo says Knicks or Caleb. I'm going with Caleb over Knicks. Knicks can be set this week. Jumbo says Wandale or T-Mac. With Jameis Winston, I like Wandale because I believe Jameis is not as mobile. So he's got to get the ball out quick, and that goes to Theo and Wandale underneath. So I like Wandale. That's a good question. All right, do I got another super chat? Yes, I do. Wave Runner, appreciate you with the super chat, bro. He says if Slayton can't play, Lockett or Jaden Higgins, I'm going with Lockett. That's a great question. I love Lockett. He's like my sleeper of the week. Lockett is my sleeper of the week. Appreciate the super chat. That fantasy says AJ Brown told people to drop him, not you. Okay, I got you. I understand. I didn't understand the question. Yeah, and like I said, I told you earlier what that was. Randall says AJ said to drop him. That's what he said. He's mad. I won't call it pouting, but he's mad. AJ Brown himself told people to get rid of him if you have him in Dynasty. That's what he said. Now, if he go out for 0 points this week or something, yeah, then I'll see something with that. But if as long as he give me 15 points, like I said, I know it's AJ Brown. Ed Tate says no. AJ told people to drop him on YouTube when he was playing the game with his friend. Right. Thomas says I was able to trade AJ Brown for Rico last week. Boom. Okay. And I like that you got Rico. I like that. Randall says please read. Yes, I am. I'm reading it, bro. Appreciate you being here, Randall. Big Rowan says AJ Brown was on a Madden stream and told people to drop him. Right. Bo says that's being a little B, though, in my opinion. No, I don't think so, bro. I think athletes are crazy, man. Like, athletes are not taught to be reasonable. Hey, bro, they just said that they're going to beat y'all. Why are you so worried about that? Athletes, that's why we have a hard time dealing with the violence against another man. Sometimes it can leak into women because we've been psyched out to be a warrior. And yeah, see, I'm giving y'all the gas. You've been psyched out to be a warrior. So when somebody tell you, that's why y'all think I come at people in the chat. When somebody say, "Oh, Tita, you suck," or "Look at your hair," or are you homosexual? I'll be like, I will run your ass over and pick you up and drop you on your neck because a real dude that can beat me up wouldn't say that. But you see, it's the sports mentality, man, that we have to battle through our whole life. One of the best people that I seen handle this was Michael Irvin. When Michael Irvin is on TV, I don't see that. He don't get angry when people take shots at him. Steve Smith disrespected Michael Irvin on the TV, and Michael Irvin kept laughing. But the Michael Irvin on the field, Michael Irvin he stabbed a man in the neck one time. So I give grace to athletes. They need therapy. They need to be around their friends. They need to be rehabilitated once they retire, because everybody that says something negative, you don't have to try to address it. And that's what AJ Brown is. That he's angry that they're not throwing him the ball. So when somebody say, "Hey, now drop me, I suck," So I get what you're saying for regular people, and I don't want to say regular, but for people that don't play sports their whole life, that is acting like a little pouty little brat. But for a sports athlete, that's what we do. That's what we do. Johnny says, haha, I like your take. Good stuff. Thank you, Johnny. Macron says, AJ Brown said he wanted people to drop him. Right. He did. Holy Inspiration says, are you playing Worthy every week with J-Mo in case he booms? Yes. I'm playing Worthy just like I'm playing J-Mo. If they active, I'm playing them. As long as Worthy don't got no injury, I'm not worried about his shoulder. I'm playing Worthy every single week. The way my teams is built, I don't got top wide receivers in certain leagues. Now, if I got like, you know, JSN and stuff, no, he's not breaking that line up. Sorry, guys, I wasted my water. So he's not breaking that line up. But yes, I'm playing Worthy every week for the boom. Worthy or Franklin, I'm going with Worthy. They lost. I think they need Worthy to take their game to the next level in order to start winning. They can't keep force feeding Rashee Rice every single time. They have to show somebody else can play too. B. Growing says, I'm going to start Hurts over May. Okay. I think the Pats D could score 2 TDs, okay, and tonight, and May won't have a lot to do. Respect that. I think he's going to be more points in that Eagles-Detroit game. I think it's going to be more points in the Eagles-Detroit. I respect that. I love your science, how you got to your problem. What the teacher say, as long as you show your work, I ain't got nothing to tell you. As long as you showing your work, I ain't got nothing to go against you for. I'm going to give you credit. As long as you show your work. As long as you just not going off of something just because you want to go off of it. Reed says DK or Hendy in my flex spot. Hendy all day. Joy, what's up, Joy Vikes? The Viking fan TD, Rico wearing down. He is. I ain't saying nothing too much about it in here, but he is wearing down. Because I ain't gonna say wearing down, but he's getting injuries. Vob says pick 2 flex, please. Henry, Christian Watson, both Vikings running back, Spears or Franklin. Okay. He said Derrick Henry, Watson. I'm going with Derrick Henry over Christian Watson. Pick 2 flex, please. And we're not going to, so it's going to be Derrick Henry and Christian Watson. We're not playing none of the Vikings running backs. Pick 2 flex, please. Both Vikings running backs. Spears or Franklin. Okay. So, yeah, it's going to be Derrick Henry. Okay, so I see what you're saying now. All these guys are for the flex. I didn't know if you was dividing that up. So I'm going to go with Derrick Henry and Spears over Christian Watson. I like Spears over Christian Watson. So I'm going with Derrick Henry and Spears. Vibe says pick 2, please. Full PPR. Rico, Odunze, AJ Brown, J-Mo. We're going with Rico if he's healthy. If he's practicing, we're going with Rico. And my take is going to be A.J. Brown. But if you're going to go Rico and J-Mo or Rico and Dunze, I don't have anything to say. But I'm going to go with Rico and A.J. Brown. I'm dancing with the girls that I came to the party with. Vibe says have PPR, pick a flex, please. Harvey, Rodriguez, Parker, Washington, Gainwell. It's Harvey all day. Joey says trade Keenan Allen for Kenneth Walker, have PPR. You can trade him, but I don't like Kenneth Walker. So just because it makes sense and I get it, it's half PPR, Keenan Allen ain't performing, I don't like Kenneth Walker. So I don't like Kenneth Walker as a fantasy football player. Joey says keep spitting facts. Yes, sir, bro. I'm trying. I'm glad y'all can understand me. Joey says White might be droppable. Not yet. And Bucky, don't drop him until Bucky comes back. You never know what can happen. He's a good receiving back, but they are not utilizing his pass catching abilities like that. I agree 100%, but don't drop him because that's backfield that the starter's out. So you kind of got to leave it open until a real decisive decision is made. You don't want to drop nobody. Remember, we just talked about that. You don't know what's going to happen. That's why people do, Hendo, he ain't coming in. And what happened? He came in. So you got to be careful. Joey says, I picked up Mike Wilson, and I'm starting him over White and Keenan at the flex. I agree. I would start Michael Wilson over Rashad White, who's not been getting all the goal line carries, and Keenan. Now, Keenan is kind of iffy, but he has been tailing off, and Keenan's done that the last couple of years as he's been getting older. Hennessy Black says, start 1 PPR. Worthy, Luther B. I'm going with Worthy over Parker Washington and Luther. I like Parker Washington, but with Jacoby Myers being there, it makes me worry a little bit. So I'm going to go with Worthy. Nathan says Drake May is the future. I agree 100%. Patrick says Debo or Jennings. I'm going with Jennings over Debo. Derek says Brees Hall or Woody Marks. I'm going with Woody Marks over Brees. Nathan says Drake May or Caleb Williams. I'm going with Drake May over Caleb Williams. Joey Vite says Tomlin is a great coach, a great motivator, coach a guy, and more importantly, a great person. That's what he is. Now, if you need X's and O's, that's not what he does. He's not Andy Reid. He's Jimmy Johnson. He's a motivator of men. Daniel, what's up? He says, hey, everyone, happy Thursday. Appreciate you, Daniel. Love your energy, bro. Wayne says Rico or Jalen Warren this week. I'm going to go with Rico. I like Jalen Warren, too, going against the Cincinnati Bengals, but I like Rico. We got to go with Rico, as long as he's healthy. Joey says, happy Thursday, back at you. Thomas says, different league, Chase Brown or Hendy. I'm going with Hendy. King Sirius says, you can fire up Marks with confidence. He put up 119 total yards and 2 touchdowns the last time they played. Facts. Nathan says, are the Patriots for real or pretenders? The Patriots are for real. Darius says, appreciate you, bro. Anytime. Joey says, I with the hate Thursday games. I got May and Diggs tonight. Right. I'm with the hate Thursday games. Right. I get it, guys. Bo says, do you drink beer? Yes, bro. I drink beer. I love, and that's why I got a little bit of a belly. And that's what kind of I've been trying to lose weight. That's what had me with plumber's butt the other day, because I'm trying to lose this weight. I've been eating lemons, and also just to make myself healthy. I've been going through a lot. I've been eating out a lot. And then I be in the lab. That's why y'all see. Listen, guys, I be eating fruit and all that, drinking water, and my mouth still is dry. That's also runs in my family. But yeah, man, I had to calm down on my beer. Like, I don't drink a lot of beer, but I come home and I love to drink good beer. It's a lager. It's called Red Oak. It's from North Carolina. It's organic. If it gets hot, you got to throw it away. So it's got to stay refrigerated. It's great beer, man. First beer that I ever could drink while I'm eating food. I used to okay, when I'm done eating, I drink. But now I can drink beer and eat wings because the beer is organic, man. It doesn't bloat. I'm not bloated. Now, do I get a belly over time? Yes, I get a little bit of a belly. But as far as how good the beer is, man, it's way better than Bud Light. It's way better than all these other beers. Sergio says, thank you, big dog. Anytime. Hennessy Black says, need a fill-in tight end if Fannin is out. Nor Fant. I'm going with a Joku all day. Sergio says, thank you, big dog. Okay, we did that one. He says, pick one, PPR. Vidal, ETN, Sean Tucker. We're going with Vidal, even though the Jags got a good defense. Do you like Tucker as a high upside play? Yes, Trey Tucker, I do. I do like him for a high upside play. I know his floor could be 5 fantasy points, but we're not worried about that. You trying to play him for the boom, and I agree. This is a good game to play him for the boom. Dallas is giving it up behind the dumpster. Patrick says Debo or Jennings in the flex. We're going with Jennings. Wave Runner said he loves Lockett this week. I love Lockett this week too. Corn says Steelers are overrated as hell. They'll be all right. They fight hard. He says, hey, TD, how many leagues are you in? Shit, bruh. Every single league, including basketball, 18, 20. Patrick says Debo or Jennings. We're doing Jennings. Big Sarge says, TD, I am starting Drake May tonight. All I need is 15 points from a quarterback position. I get you. I like that. I like how you compartmentalize that. Everybody should have an individual goal. I look at my team like that too. King says, are you expecting a lot from Henry this week? Cleveland has one of the league's top run defenses. No and yes. I don't know, man. The games, if they adjust. So it depends on what they start doing. If they sell out for Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers and Lamar and maybe Isaiah Likely can eat. If they don't sell out and they try to force Lamar to stay in the pocket, Derrick Henry could eat. He can still eat against Cleveland. It doesn't mean that he won't eat just because Cleveland has a good defense. This offense, it's like Shaq and Kobe. Like, they are so good. It's all about how they want to implement the game plan. So I think Henry could still have a good game, and I think he is a must start. I think he's a top 12 running back. Doesn't matter the matchup. Dwayne says, Steeler fans still heard about that Sunday Night Lives. They are. Birds Gray says, Brissett or Dak this week. Brissett is out, so I'm going with Dak. Brissett is out. King Sirius says Chris Rodriguez is expected to be a full go this week, which means Bill will only be a change of pace back. Big facts. Mike Dorton says, should I play Bree Hall tonight? Yes, you should. Him or Tyler Algier. I would go with Bree. Thomas says, I think Aaron Jones has a big game. Chicago gives up the 5th most yards per carry at just 5 yards under per carry. He could, man, but he ain't explosive anymore. He might have a bunch of catches, but he's not as explosive. But I get what you're saying. I got him stashed on a couple teams. Benjamin, what's up, bro? Cody says, trade Ibuka and J-Mo for McBride. Still got Lamb, London, Rice, and Franklin. Trade Ibuka and J-Mo for McBride. Still got Lamb, London, Rice, and Franklin. Yes. Yes, you get McBride. You need a tight end. You better not have a good tight end trying to make this move because it doesn't make sense. So if you don't have a good tight end, yes, use that. And then you got London and Lamb that you trust. So you telling me you trust London and Lamb. I'm not big on London, but that has nothing to do with it. That's just my opinion. He's a top 5 wide receiver. So if you believe in Lamb and London and you got Rice and you can get rid of Ibuka and J-Mo and you get McBride, I get the consolidation. It makes sense. Jumbo says, need 2, Woody, Aaron Jones, or Ja'Cory Cross-Kamara. I'm going with Woody and Aaron Jones. Benjamin says, are you ready for football tonight? Yes, sir. As soon as I get off this live, I'm going home and go get ready for the game. Jumbo says, Charbonnet or Managa. I'm going with Charbonnet. Joey says, appreciate you. Don't ever feel like you don't put enough time in for your channel. We lucky to get whatever you give us. And I don't want to sit there and say you're lucky, but I have another job. I have a family. Well, I had a family. I had a child. Have a child. So it's tough. And guess what? The main reason some of the shit that was used against me was because they said I put my YouTube before my family, and that's kind of bullshit. Because when I buy when I buy a $100,000 car for my son, I want that same energy. When I buy a $100,000 car for my son, when my son is going to any school that he wants to, Duke, Harvard, and I can pay for it, I want that same energy. So a lot of people say that I put this before the things that I pose to, and I'm like, no, you trying to make me sell out to be ordinary for the rest of my life and be sitting around waiting on somebody to do something for me. I want to go on yachts. I want to make sure that I can go to space if this world get ready to come to the end. I can pay $1 million to Elon Musk. Come on now, I'm spitting facts here now. I don't know if y'all don't think about that shit. So I'm not going to sit around and be playing second fiddle, talking about I'm always in my family face and I ain't got no damn money to make a big move. No. So I appreciate that, Joy. Bo says that YouTube money must be straight if you putting weight on. It's okay. I ain't getting that much money, bro. I ain't afraid to say. I'm getting like a couple $100 a month, bro. A couple $100 a month. I ain't getting 1,000 views. I get a little bit of super chat money. That shit is, I'm only get 60% of the super chat money. So I don't make that good money, but I can see how it can come, right? I can see how it can come. But now the YouTube money, man, I got a job. I make good money. I'm in IT. So, I'm not making no big time money. I ain't making no $150,000 or nothing like that. But I make good money, and I got a lot of bills, too. Jumbo Formation says, thanks, bro, anytime. Vrotron says, Fantasy Pros is saying to bench DK. Your advice is definitely different from the mainstream. Always have been. But this is what I say to y'all. Now, listen, if I miss, it's nothing wrong coming here and say, listen, TD, yeah, man, the other channel said not to play DK. You did. He hit. As long as you, being respectful, I'm not going to get mad. I'm like, yeah, bro, I was wrong on that. But also at the same time, if I tell y'all to play this whole J-Mo, if I tell you to play Drake May, if I say Chase Brown is going to ball out, I need that same, I don't know, TD, and I need that same energy for the live. So when people come in, like, why should I follow this dude that don't have a studio? He's doing a live from his car. Because I picked DK and he boomed and nobody else said pick him. Yeah, a lot of, you know what? You know how I get a lot of reciprocation from y'all? It's my energy. I'm cool. But what about my damn fantasy takes? Because y'all use them because you be having them players on your team, even though you probably didn't want to. You was nervous, but you did. A lot of you ain't scared. You would do it. You be like, all right, if TD said I'm going to do it. And I respect that. But I want to be known for the takes. I want to help y'all. I love chopping it up with you, but I want to be right too. I want to be a good doctor, right? I just don't want to be cool and when you want to sit down and talk to me about your health. I want to make sure that if I do the surgery, that I'm good at doing it. Patrick says start Hunter Henry tonight or Jonnu Smith Sunday. Can only use one at the tight end spot. I would go with Hunter Henry over Jonnu Smith. Jumbo says Trey Tucker or Keenan. I would go with Trey Tucker over Keenan for the upside. But if you need safe, if you need a floor of 8 points or 10, go with Keenan. But if you need some boom, I will go with Trey. Cody says my tight end is Fanning, but I got a bunch of wide receivers and I can't start them all. So what are you saying, Cody? What do you need to do? Joey says you believe in Burrow if he comes back week 13. Maybe not week 13, but if he plays good week 13, yes, week 14 I'll be ready for him. I swooped him up and have him on IR so no one else can have him. There you go. I love that. But with a bad defense and Chase Burrow could ball. What? But with a bad defense, Chase and Burrow could ball. Yes, agree. Cody says appreciate it. Anytime, Cody. Anytime. FW Mitchell says Genty, Harvey, and Gaddison for Rico. Does that seem crazy? Yes, I wouldn't give that. I wouldn't give up Genty and Harvey for Rico. Gaddison is just a throw-in. I'm not giving up Genty and Harvey. Harvey and Gaddison for Rico, yeah. Genty and Gaddison, but I'm not giving up. You giving up two young fourth quadrant league-winning running backs to get just one guy that may get injured and have to put Chuba in. FC said I had a hamburger for lunch, and I ain't mad at you, bro. If that's what you want to do, but then if you said TD, what's healthy? I'm gonna say, hey, maybe you should get the salad. Cody says that was a response to the McBride trade for my Ibuka and Jamo. Okay, you said I better not have a good tight end. Okay, I got you. Thank you for the context. Okay, you don't. You right. Patrick says, sorry, I missed your advice. Put it in the comments, bro. Put it in the comments. Other than that, I'm getting ready to get out of here. But last question, he says, Joy Vite says, my opinion, you can watch multiple fantasy channels. You can. You will be conflicted because, okay, you can watch, my opinion, you can watch multiple fantasy channels. You will be conflicted because everyone has different opinions. I only listen to TD. Okay, I respect that. Me, man, I listen to a bunch of people. I can compartmentalize and then still have my own opinion. I do it in life a lot. A lot of people say I talk about my business. I don't. I'm not going to tell you when me and my woman is being intimate. Like, my secret stuff is my secret stuff. But I'll wear my emotions on my sleeve. I don't have anything to hide. I'm not perfect. I got secrets. I talk to God. But hey, man, what do you think? Da-da-da-da-da-da. What do you think? Da-da-da-da-da. And I can put it all together and take out what I need. And then once it happens, I can go back to a person that I'm like, you know what, man? You said this, just hit. I can do that, but everybody might not be able to do that, and that's fine. Just like I'm not a man that want 8 women, and I'm trying to be with 8 women, and I can go and take care of them all. Some men can do that. I can't do that. I'd rather have, depends on what my situation is. 1 or 2 women that I'm dating or something like that. But I get it, man. You don't want to be conflicted, and I don't get conflicted when it comes to fantasy. But other stuff, some things I can see how you could get conflicted. Let me see. Patrick says, Hunter Henry or Jonah. I'm going with Hunter Henry. Jay Moore says Parker Washington or QJ or for Devontae Smith. Yes. Parker Washington and Quentin Johnson for Devontae Smith. I like that. Sports Dog says TD 100. I decided to go with Jackson over May. Nothing wrong with that, bruh. Voltron says Henry didn't play well last time they played the Browns, but it's different when it's cold. I think Henry kills Cleveland this time. And it doesn't matter. Each game is different. Each game is different. Thomas says stash 1, Butte, Malik Washington, Higgins as my wide receiver 5 and 2 flex. Kind of like Butte because I have Drake May. Me too. And that's what I'm going to say. I like Butte over Malik Washington. All right, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. I think the good hour will be posted later. I'm not going to be on there. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, so I won't be able to get on the good hour. But make sure you come in, guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe to those guys. To make sure you get them the likes. Give them some comments. They are very knowledgeable in fantasy sports, so maybe they might give you a different opinion. It could help you out. See y'all guys later. Peace.